Hi, friends. Simit here from InformedTrades.com. Today is our January 3rd, 2014. Start with our daily chart review. Just to provide a recap, this is the process that I use every day at this time, excuse me, to review the charts and find trading opportunities. I'm a little under the weather, as you may be able to tell. I apologize for that. Okay, so in yesterday's review, there were three pairs that I thought were coming close to trading opportunities. One was the Euro US dollar, the other one was the Euro Canadian dollar, and third was US dollar Canadian dollar. So Euro dollar, Euro Canadian dollar, and US dollar Canadian dollar. So when I identify pairs from the previous day that I think are gearing up, those are generally what I like to check out first, as well as positions that I already have on. And I do have a position on Euro Pound. So those four currency pairs, let's take a look at them first. These charts, by the way, are from TradingView.com. They're using the feed from FXCM. Okay, so here's the Euro Dollar daily chart. Here's a support level I had identified. Sometimes when I'm looking at the current candle, this candle is still pretty red. We had a big red candle here. I like to zoom in to the 4-hour chart to get a clear idea of what's going on intraday. So within this current daily session. Here we see some signs of, this looks like it's going to be a double doji. So chances are here I'll be looking to place a trade. I like to see these types of candles form at support. It is occurring on a 4-hour chart, but I'll still feel like it's worth checking out. So I'll enter at the black line. I'll probably put my stop right about here, I think. And stop placement is, at least in my approach, is somewhat subjective. I like to place it, the basic idea is I like to place it between key levels. So I don't want to place it at support or resistance, or excuse me, I don't want to place it at a support level or one below it, but kind of in between. Sometimes that's a little tricky, but that's the basic idea. Change the color of this one. Okay, we'll make that red. Now, profit target, that's easy. We're going at least to here. Okay, and we'll make that green. Now, something that, and if you've been following us on InformedTrades.com, which of course I naturally recommend, I've mentioned many times in my own trading, and of course, many other traders will disagree, and this is just a personal preference. You got to find what works with you psychologically and what type of trader you are. But I like to see a 3-to-1 reward to risk as my bare minimum. So here, the stop is 36.29, 35.63. So that is about 70 pips. Yes, a little less than 70 pips. It is 66 pips. Okay, so 66. My stop is 66 pips away from the entry point here. 66 times 3 is 198. So we want to be at 38.29. We'll be at least 38.31. If we target the high that we reached, the target there is 38.92. So we're in the clear. This reward risk is going to be above 3-to-1. I'll do the exact calculation and post more about this on my blog on Informed Trades. But this is a trade that I'll be taking, or I'll be placing the order. Now, it may not get filled because the market is a little above the entry point of 36.29. Okay, another pair that we had looked at was Euro Canadian dollar. Okay, there we're still pretty far off support. I would need price to. It's interesting. We did see price bounce sharp, like it almost came down to support. It didn't quite touch it. So even if we had that order yesterday, it wouldn't have gotten filled. But it did bounce off sharply. So that's an interesting sign. And that may be, a sign for bulls that when it does reach this level, it is going to bounce. The bulls are stepping in around here. However, I'd like to see more. Still wait a little bit. especially once I place, so as we just saw in the previous chart, if I am placing a euro dollar order, I'm a little less, I'm more reluctant to put on a euro Canadian dollar or another euro position. Doesn't mean I won't, but I want to make sure that it is as diversified as possible, including across time. So euro dollar versus euro Canadian dollar, that's one form of diversification that they're trading. It's only one currency in common. It's not euro dollar and euro dollar. Euro dollar versus euro Canadian dollar, so it's one currency different. But I also like to diversify across time. So if I can wait a couple days and get a slightly different entry with a slightly different technical makeup, that's another form of diversification that I'll be looking to appreciate. I'm a big fan of diversification. Okay, now a current trade I have on, which is going in my favor, is euro pound. I'm short euro pound. And this is something that, okay, so we talked about going long euro dollar, but right now I'm short euro pound. Now, this trade, I will likely, okay, I'm just going to modify this channel a little bit so that make it a little lighter. Oh, make this line a little heavier. Make this, okay. Just want to make that a little lighter. We are seeing this looks to me like some reversal patterns here. And we also have a pattern of higher lows. So euro pound, I may be interested in closing that out entirely and taking some profits. So I think that's in fact what I'm going to do based on how the candles are behaving today. Closing out euro pound and booking some profits on that. And that will be the first trade I close for 2014 for a win. So that's nice. Didn't get to hold it for the full target, and maybe it'll end up going down there. But to me, this reversal, excuse me, signals that it's a time to take some profit. And in some instances, depending on the scenario and what other positions I have on board, I may just close half the position. In this particular instance, I chose to close the entire position. And whether that, what determines whether I'm going to close half or all is other positions I have on. So if I have other positions on, let's say I had another euro position on, that was then I could basically say, let's say I was short euro Australian dollar, for instance. If I close my euro pound position, uh, I could let my euro Aussie dollar position go. Um, if I only had a euro pound position on, I might be interested in closing half. In this particular instance, though, the euro pound position it was taking longer than I would prefer. I had gotten in, somewhere around here. It was taking too long. It wasn't really going as I was a little suspicious at the rate at which it was moving. And also we're seeing, pattern of lower highs starting to form here potentially, as well as I'm about to put on that long euro dollar position, which is contrary to this one. So here I'm short euro, in that position I'm long euro. Given that I'm putting on the long euro trade today, I thought it'd make sense to close out the short euro position. Sometimes I will have contrary positions like that on board, though. Okay. So now we can just go down the list. Oh, actually, let's check out the other position that I had identified before we go down the list. US dollar, Canadian dollar. That was a trade I had identified yesterday, or chart I identified yesterday as something I wanted to keep an eye on. Okay. Let me zoom in a little bit. Okay, daily chart here. Interesting. It's some type of gap, at least this chart showing. But either way, I really need to see price fall to this level, this support level, which we're not seeing. So nothing here, at least from my perspective. Euro Australian dollar. And this is also, let me at least get that support level up. This is a nice support level. You know, we see the market clearly reacted. These two spots stick out, and that's why I like to see in a support level. Still far away from that, so nothing really to do. And what other euro positions do we have to look at? Euro New Zealand dollar. Okay. Now price is falling below the 50 simple moving average here. So the trend to me isn't exactly 100% clear. Um, I think in a choppy market like this, you know, part of the thing is I'm always looking for reasons not to enter trades. So in this particular instance, you know, when a market is choppy, to me that's a good. If I don't see the trend clearly, that's a good reason to not enter. Okay, pound Aussie dollar. Same as we saw this with Euro Aussie dollar. No real activity here. Pound Canadian dollar. Same. So a lot of these we're just waiting for the pullback. And as I mentioned, you know, if you're, and I mentioned this yesterday, if you're willing to trade against the trend, there are a number of opportunities. There are some great opportunities. However, I'm not interested in that. I really, and that'll become more apparent as I place trades. Or we saw that a little bit of that with the euro dollar trade that I was focused on earlier, where if you're really looking for a 3-to-1 reward risk, it's great. It's more difficult to find that in counter trend opportunities. So I don't really look at counter trend opportunities, and I do really require the wins to be significantly larger than the losses. That's just what has worked for me. It suits my psychology. I know it's a little different. A lot of people like to have a higher win rate. In fact, that's easier for a lot of people. So counter trend is actually, it's quite likely that's a good strategy for a lot of people. Um, it's not for me, and we do see some interesting, some really good counter trend opportunities. And I still, because I see opportunities like that, where I have capital that's ready to deploy, sometimes I think about going down that route, and I may return to that at some point. But I still have room to improve in my trend trading. I want to focus on that for the time being. Okay, pound. We're at pound Canadian dollar, still waiting for more of a pullback. Pound Swiss. Yeah. So here are some reversal candlesticks again. You know, lower highs could be interesting short opportunity for some. But it's still, to me, the trend is a little choppy here, but bullish if anything. So I'm not really interested in shorting there. Pound yen, same idea. Just need more of a pullback. Pound kiwi. Okay. Hmm. Now this is interesting. The issue here is that we've had such a big down move that I don't want to uh, I don't want to enter, you know, the bear move that's going on today in pound kiwi needs to subside before I enter. But it is, given that it's approaching that support level, this is definitely something that I'll be highlighting or that I'll be keeping an eye on for tomorrow. So I'm going to jot this down. The notebook I have besides my trading computer, besides my desk, um, you know, write down that it's basically pound kiwi as the opportunity that I'll be focused on tomorrow, and of course the euro dollar. Need to return to that and place that trade in my trading account. Okay. And pound US dollar. And this is potentially interesting here. Let's draw some support levels. This is another one. Okay, so there seems to me some type of reversal coming on the pound. So we saw that with pound Kiwi as well as and now pound dollar. Both of them had big down moves today, and I don't want to enter on the down move. I want to wait a little bit to see, make sure support does in fact form at this level, and see candlesticks that show finally when the bears are exhausted and when it'll be time to enter. So these are definitely charts to revisit tomorrow. Okay, USD. Oh, we looked at this. USD JPY. Okay, and this particular, even though we're below the 50 moving average, we're close enough where I'm still interested in it. And this may have been an opportunity yesterday that I missed. I can see that being a support level. Yeah, we had the bounce off here, support here. Well, it wouldn't have gotten filled in any event, most likely. And right there, 103.95. And let me just draw some Fibonacci. Well, I missed this in yesterday's. I should have seen this. Definitely. There may still be an opportunity on this. 103. Okay, enter at 103.95. Where would I put the stop? $103.55 probably. There we go. 40 pips away. And target. Here we go. And in this instance, there may be other ways to target a higher way, excuse me, further away trend or further away profit target. But in this particular instance, I think targeting the recent highs is a safe bet to return to there, as well as there may be opportunities to pyramid as the trend develops that are interesting. So that's a basic trade setup there that should yield 105.40. So we're dealing with 145 pips. Yes, that'll yield greater than 3-to-1 reward risk. Slightly greater than. Now these opportunities are slightly greater than the Euro US dollar and dollar yen are slightly greater than 3-to-1 reward risk, which is definitely that's the cue. That's my signal to take it. What's really great are the 6-to-1, 7-to-1, 10-to-1, 12-to-1 reward risk opportunities. I definitely like to see and capture a few of those a year. If I can get a few 10-to-1, 12-to-1s, even 6-to-1s a year, that's really nice. And it's often those few big winners that end up really making the account for the year for me. Now, once I noticed that pattern in my trading, that every year it was just a couple of winners that were pushing me into the positive. That was when I decided that this is kind of the strategy I need to focus on, finding those big winners. Okay, dollar Singapore. Not much going on here. It's still falling. If we fall down this support level, might be something interesting. Let's move on to the. Actually, I do want, after looking at that dollar yen, I want to just take another quick look back on the euro yen. Yeah, we saw this yesterday too, huh? Well, I missed that, unfortunately. Um, okay, so since this is yeah, I kind of like the technical setup more here. Enter at 142, exit at 150. Okay, it's a good thing I checked this out. Um, if I get filled, this was a clear, okay, so it's a clear example of a mistake on my part. I really should have seen this opportunity for me on yesterday's candle and placed a trade then. This is a much better reward to risk. We're going to be risking about 50 pips to gain 300, so this is a 6-to-1 reward to risk. So I'm probably not going to place the dollar yen trade. I will place euro yen, that order, and I will have a dollar, an order on euro dollar. So looks like I'm shaping up for good exposure to euro on the long side. Now we may see some things with Aussie yen, Kiwi yen, but and to see if this is a yen opportunity. So I may not place this trade either, but so far euro yen looks like how I'll be playing the yen. Okay, sorry about that pause there. I just realized I made a mistake of sorts. I was looking at the 4-hour chart rather than the daily chart. That is a really stupid mistake. So let me go back and look at some of these charts. And I don't think I'll be placing. Now, when I look at the year, okay, now I see how I didn't miss it yesterday. Because it was on, yes, we look at USD, JPY, daily chart. I apologize for that. This is really a silly mistake on my part. There was nothing to see yesterday, so I didn't miss it yesterday, like I just said. Euro. So there is an opportunity on the 4-hour chart for those who are interested. I'm not really trading the 4-hour chart because then I need to watch each candle. Um, so yeah, there's no opportunity missed here. Let me make sure. Um, CD, EUR, NZD. Okay, USD, CAD. We looked at that. USD, SGD. Here's the okay, so back on the daily chart. Okay, so scratch a lot of that, and really the only trade I've identified so far is Euro US dollar. Pound Kiwi we'll be looking at possibly tomorrow. Let me just make sure I was looking at that on the daily time frame. Yeah, okay. So we'll see how Pound Kiwi shapes up tomorrow. Okay, so moving on to Aussie or Canadian dollar now. Cad Swiss. Okay. So Cad Swiss is another opportunity. We are looking at the daily chart here. I needed to make sure I made that mistake before. Always ends up being a waste of time, unfortunately. Okay, so Cad Swiss, we are approaching that resistance level. We are also approaching the 50 SMA. So this might be a great short opportunity. I'm definitely excited about this one. Cad Swiss. Jotting this one down as a potential opportunity for, well, tomorrow's Saturday, so when I look at the charts on Monday, we'll see how that shapes up. And if we got any signs of reversal on Sunday night. Or Monday in Europe, Monday morning, Monday Europe or Asia. So still need to wait a day on Cad Swiss, but that's an opportunity that looks pretty promising. Cad Yen, nothing here. Now we can move to the Australian dollar currencies. Australian dollar, Canadian dollar. Okay, well, see the price action here does not look this. I prefer to see a bigger retracement. Just compare this retracement. It's a downtrend. We're approaching support, but compare the size of this retracement to what we saw on Cad Swiss. So this is a much better retracement in my opinion. Bigger move, clearer. Uh, that Aussie CAD that we were looking at. I mean, that could be. This is what one tool where I like to use Fibonacci. So let's say the move started here. Oh, God. Okay. I mean, I'll definitely wait a day, but yeah, if it's meeting some technical requirements that I have, it is a 50% pullback on the latest move. Um, Intuitively, we have a downtrend, pullback with a downtrend. Um, so intuitively, I just feel a little skeptical of this opportunity, but it is meeting technical requirements, and I will trust that and go with that. So if I will wait a bit, but I'm also going to have this pair written down as something to watch. Aussie Cad. Um, okay, so let me actually, I want to check pound dollar real quick. Jumping around a little bit, the timing threw me off. Okay, so there's the pound dollar. I just crossed it off. I had it marked down as something to watch, but I thought this would be it. Not watch. So the three pairs so far I've identified that I'll be watching at the start of next week and perhaps placing a trade on Monday are pound Kiwi, Cad Swiss, and Aussie Cad. And today, so far, we've identified euro dollar as a trade I'll be placing. That's the thing, looking on the daily charts and my approach, a lot of it is just waiting, checking every day. And, there'll be days where you get a lot of activity, and there'll be days where it's not so much. And it's really, it's important to have the mentality of not forcing anything, taking what the market gives you. Aussie Swiss, let's just put the support level in place here. Similar to Canadian dollar, Swiss franc. So it looks like we're getting ready to see um, the Swiss franc rally. At least that is what it looks like on Aussie CAD and CAD Swiss. And I will actually add that. So I'm adding Aussie Swiss to the watch list. Cad Swiss is also on the watch list. Chances are I won't place trades on both because it's the same pattern. But whichever one offers a technical setup that I'm more comfortable with. Aussie yen here. Still choppy. This pair has been in this range going back to, October, late October. Still there. It's choppy, no real trend. A lot of range-bound systems or range-bound traders may find maybe having some great luck with it, but it's not for me. Okay, Aussie Kiwi still need more of a pullback, so nothing here. And Aussie US dollar still need more of a pullback, nothing here as well. Let's at least get that support level plotted. You could say here is one level, right? Yeah, that may be where we need to go all the way back to. At which point the market may be a bullish trade that we're on, eventually go back up to. Let's see how price action forms. We can see a pattern of lower highs, and if we end up being above the 50 SMA, if we can go back to this level. Okay, so now let's look at some Kiwi opportunities. Zealand Kiwi CAD. Okay. Yeah, I did have a trade that I got in here. It started going in my favor. I moved my stop to break even, got stopped out, and now we got higher. So I didn't lose money on that trade, but I didn't make money either. I moved my stop a little too early. That's the lesson there, I think. And this would be going much more in my favor. Well, there's no opportunity now. Maybe if it goes back to this level, we'll see. But nothing to do at this point. Kiwi Swiss. Yeah. Okay. So we're seeing the same pattern here, or similar pattern here that we saw on Aussie Swiss and Cad Swiss. So, I won't be placing a trade on all of these, but I will be looking at all of them and finding which one I like the most. So it's really what's really going on here is some type of a bull market or ready for a bull move in the Swiss franc. And it's just a matter of which setup is the most technically appealing. We may get that next week. That's what it looks like, at least at this point. One of the advantages of trading on the daily chart, one of the reasons I like it is you get to see opportunities develop over a number of days. On an hourly chart, you may see over a number of hours, smaller time. Obviously, a 5-minute chart, you're just seeing it, within an hour. So it depends on what you prefer. I like to just get it based on my schedule, my lifestyle. I like to knock this all out in the morning, and then I can just return to everything else I have to do for the day, and then next morning repeat. QE yen, no opportunity here. Same situation. Just waiting for a pullback of some type. And if we don't get the pullback, that's we may miss out on the opportunity. Obviously, it would have been great to enter here and just or here and just keep riding it. However, we'll see. That's not in the cards at the moment. Okay. Now we may have a QE dollar. This is also an interesting bear setup. NZD USD. Excuse me. This is also an interesting potential bear move. We did, we have a pattern of lower highs. You can see that on the screen. I'll actually draw that trend line. So a pattern of lower highs. Okay. And this horizontal support level. And we've gone back to the 50 SMA. So we have a number of signs that are interesting to short from. Will give us some indications of an opportunity. However, again, I really want to see candlesticks provide confirmation, and we do have this big move. So let's see. Let's wait for it to cool off a little bit. And early next week, this will be another opportunity I look at. So really, the way it looks so far, we have a lot of opportunities shaping up next week. Pound Kiwi, Cad Swiss, Aussie Cad, Aussie Swiss, Kiwi Swiss, and Kiwi Dollar are all pairs I'll definitely be keeping an eye on next week. Today, just to go back to the trade that I'll be placing, those who want to trade along with me, we have links to register for a demo account beneath this. You can try trading this on a practice account. And here we go. Okay, so yeah, enter here at the black line, stop at the red, target this green. Okay, that's about it. That's the daily Forex chart review. Any questions, anything you want to add, you can always join us at informedtrades.com. Thanks and best of luck in your trading.